Not many people think that behind his figure that often looks relaxed, full of laughter, and sometimes acts like a spoiled meaning, there is actually another side of Jungkook that is rarely known to the public. For many years, the world has known him as the main vocalist of BTS, a performer who almost always performs perfectly on stage. But recently, a confession from one of the members actually made the fans realize that Jungkook's intelligence is not only seen on the music stage. The confession came from Park Jimin, a best friend and group mate who has known Jungkook since their trainee days. In a conversation that was later talked about by fans, Jimin openly said something quite surprising. He admitted that Jungkook is the smartest member when it comes to money and financial management. The statement sounded simple, but the impact immediately spread widely among the army. Many initially thought that the older members in the group were the most experienced in terms of finance. But Jimin's statement actually opened a new perspective. It turns out, the magne who has often been considered innocent secretly has very mature thoughts about the future. According to Jimin's story, Jungkook is not the type of person who is easily tempted by the luxury that often surrounds the life of an idol. When many people think that the life of a K-pop star is filled with expensive shopping, luxury cars, and a glamorous lifestyle, Jungkook actually has a different approach. He is known to be very careful in using the money he earns from his hard work. Jimin even joked that Jungkook often gave financial advice to other members. This, of course, makes the fans smile and surprised at the same time. Just imagine, a magne who debuted at a very young age is now considered one of the wisest figures in managing income among the members. This story is actually not entirely surprising for those who followed Jungkook's journey from the beginning. Many know that he started his career in the entertainment industry at a very young age. When many teenagers his age are still focusing on school or normal social life, Jungkook has been in the practice room for hours every day, chasing dreams that don't even necessarily work. Those times slowly shaped his way of thinking. Jungkook has mentioned several times that he has always felt responsible for his family since he was young. That awareness is what made him learn to understand the value of money in a different way from most people. When BTS starts to achieve global success and their income increases drastically, many people may lose control in such a situation. But according to Jimin's story, Jungkook is actually becoming more cautious. He often thinks about long-term investment, future career, and how to ensure that what he has today can remain safe in the future. Fans then began to connect Jimin's confession with various facts that had been appearing in the media. One of them is how Jungkook is known to have several high-value property assets. Many reports mention that he bought the property not just for lifestyle, but as a form of long-term investment. This further reinforces the image that Jungkook does have a very strategic mindset in terms of finance. He is not only an artist who enjoys the results of success, but also someone who understands how to maintain future stability. Jimin himself seems to respect this side of his best friend. In a joking but admiring tone, he once said that Jungkook often thought about things that other members didn't even think of. For Jimin, it shows that Jungkook has an extraordinary maturity even though he is the youngest in the group. The recognition made many ARMY feel proud. They have always seen Jungkook as a hardworking figure who always gives the best to his fans. But now they also see another side of him, which is a young man who thinks far ahead and is not easily carried away by the euphoria of popularity that on social media. The discussion about this matter became very crowded. Many fans say that Jungkook's financial intelligence may come from his unusual life experiences. Since he was a teenager, he has felt the pressure of the entertainment industry, facing a busy schedule and learning to be responsible for a career that has an impact on many people. This situation may make him learn faster about the reality of life. When someone understands how difficult it is to reach a certain position, they tend to be more careful to defend it. That is what might explain why Jungkook never looks excessive in showing his wealth. On the other hand, Jimin's confession also shows how strong the friendship between the BTS members is. They not only work together, but also learn from each other. On many occasions, the members often reveal that they grew together as individuals during this group's long journey. For fans, stories like this give a more human picture of the idols they admire. Behind the grand stage, spectacular concerts, and millions of fans around the world, BTS members are still individuals who continue to learn to live life. And in this story, Jungkook seems to show that true success is not only measured by popularity or the number of awards. There is something more important: the ability to keep what has been fought for with hard work. When Jimin revealed that Jungkook was the smartest in managing money among them, maybe it was not just an ordinary compliment. It could be that it is a form of sincere confession from a friend who has witnessed their Magne's long journey since the first day. For ARMY, this story only adds one more reason to admire Jungkook. He is not only a talented singer, an amazing dancer, and a performer who amazes the world, but also someone who understands the value of responsibility behind every success he achieves. And maybe that's what makes many people more convinced that Jungkook's future will continue to shine, not only as a star on stage, but also as a wise figure in living life outside the spotlight of the camera. The story about Jungkook's financial intelligence does not stop only at Park Jimin's spontaneous confession. After the statement spread widely among BTS fans, many people began to look back at Jungkook's life journey with a different perspective. What used to be considered as the luck of a young idol is now beginning to be seen as a result of mature thinking and a very disciplined attitude towards life. Some fans even said that Jungkook has actually shown signs of intelligence in managing life since the beginning of his debut. When BTS was still in difficult times and not widely known by the world, Jungkook is known as one of the members who is most focused on work. He often spends hours in the practice studio, not only to perfect his vocals and dance, but also to learn various new things that can support his career. That habit turns out not only applies in the world of music. People who have worked with Jungkook mention that he has a great curiosity about many things, including how the entertainment industry works, how artist contracts run, and how an artist can maintain the stability of his career in the long run. For a teenager who at that time was just starting a journey as an idol, this kind of attitude is certainly unusual. Jimin once described the moment when they talked casually about the future. In that conversation, Jungkook actually discussed things that sounded very serious for someone his age. He talked about the importance of saving, about how an artist should not be too dependent on popularity that can change at any time, and about how to prepare for life after the glory days on stage are over. Those words may sound simple, but for Jimin, they show something very clear. Jungkook has a much more mature way of thinking than what is seen in front of the camera. The fans then began to recall various financial decisions that had been associated with Jungkook. Several media reports mentioned that he made a huge property investment. Many people initially thought the decision was just part of the lifestyle of a wealthy celebrity. But after hearing Jimin's comments, some ARMY began to see it as a carefully planned strategy. Property investment is often considered as one of the most stable ways to maintain wealth in the long term. If it's true that Jungkook has been thinking about it since he was young, then it's not surprising that Jimin is amazed by his intelligence. But the most interesting thing about this story is not only about money or investment. The thing that makes many fans touched is the reason behind Jungkook's cautious attitude towards finances. In several old interviews, Jungkook once briefly alluded to the times when his family lived a simple life. He never discussed it dramatically, but it was quite clear that the experience shaped his perspective on life. For Jungkook, money is not just a symbol of success. He sees it more as a tool to ensure that the people he cares about can live comfortably. Many fans believe that's the reason why he always seems so serious in managing his income. Jimin himself seems to understand that very well. As someone who has lived with Jungkook for many years, he witnessed firsthand how their group Magne grew from a shy teenager to one of the biggest stars in the world. The change does not happen instantly, but through a long journey full of hard work and learning.